I am 112 years old, and there is no one older than me in this village. Half of my family lives in India and the other half in Pakistan. I miss them very much.
There is a place in northern Pakistan that many people have heard about, but very few truly understand. A place hidden deep within the mighty Himalayas, where towering mountains guard ancient secrets, and icy rivers carve their paths through valleys untouched by time. But what makes this place so special? Why do travelers who visit it often describe it as something almost unreal? And how can a single valley hold so much beauty, mystery, and history at the same time? Hidden deep within the towering shadows of the Karakoram range lies a valley few people truly know about, Saltoro Valley. But this is not just another beautiful Himalayan landscape. This is a place where nature tests human limits at every step.
Now the weather seems calm, but in winter, life in Saltoro becomes a battle. Temperatures can drop to -60, and survival is never easy.
Tucked away in the heart of Gilgit-Baltistan, Pakistan, Saltoro Valley is not just a destination. It is an experience that rewires something deep inside you. It is the kind of place that makes you question everything you thought you knew about beauty, about endurance, and about the extraordinary power of nature. Towering peaks pierce the clouds above you. The mighty Saltoro River carves its way through ancient rock below. And on every horizon, the Karakoram giants, some of the tallest mountains on Earth, stand like silent guardians watching over this forgotten paradise. But here's what makes Saltoro unlike any other valley in the world. It is the highest valley in all of Pakistan. Not the most famous, not the most visited, the highest. And sitting right beside it is the Siachen Glacier, the world's highest battleground, where soldiers have fought and sacrificed at altitudes that would bring most people to their knees. So what is it about this valley that makes it so special? What secrets does it hold within its icy peaks and ancient glaciers?
In the remote heights of Saltoro, these glaciers have existed for thousands of years, preserving a frozen record of Earth's past.
And why, despite being one of the most remarkable places on Earth, does it remain largely unknown to the rest of the world? Today, we are going there. Welcome to Saltoro Valley. Nestled in the northwestern corner of the mighty Karakoram Range, Saltoro Valley is one of Gilgit-Baltistan's most dramatic and least explored treasures. Located in the historic region of Baltistan, this extraordinary valley sits in the shadow of the Saltoro mountain range, a chain of colossal peaks that includes the magnificent Saltoro Kangri, standing at over 7,742 meters above sea level, making it one of the highest mountains on Earth. The valley takes its name from the Saltoro River, which flows through its rugged terrain, fed by the ancient glaciers that have shaped this landscape over millions of years. The proximity of the valley to the Siachen Glacier, the world's second longest non-polar glacier, gives it a geography that is nothing short of spectacular. Ice, rock, sky, and river come together here in a way that feels almost impossible, almost too grand for the human eye to fully take in. But Saltoro Valley is more than just stunning scenery. It sits at one of the most geopolitically significant crossroads in all of South Asia. The actual ground position line, or AGPL, runs right through the Saltoro mountain range, dividing the territories held by India and Pakistan in the disputed Siachen region. This invisible line in the ice has been the backdrop of one of the longest-running military standoffs in modern history, making this valley not only a natural wonder, but also a place of deep historical and political significance. Yet beyond the geopolitics, beyond the military history, Saltoro Valley remains a place of raw, unfiltered natural beauty. A place where the mountains speak in avalanches, where the glaciers move like slow-motion rivers of time, and where the people of Baltistan have carved out a way of life that is as resilient as the peaks above them. This is their home, and today it is our story. The journey to Saltoro Valley is not for the faint-hearted. It begins in Skardu, and from the moment you leave that city behind, the road itself becomes part of the adventure, and not always a comfortable one. What starts as a rough but navigable track gradually transforms into something that can only be described as a test of nerve. The paths narrow, the drops deepen, and the mountain walls close in around you like a tightening fist. Many of the routes leading towards Saltoro are not roads in any conventional sense. They are unpaved, boulder-strewn tracks carved into the sides of near-vertical cliffs, wide enough for one vehicle at a time, if you are lucky. In several stretches, there are no guardrails, no safety barriers, nothing between your tires and a 1,000-foot drop into the roaring river below. One miscalculation, one moment of lost concentration, and the consequences are unthinkable. During the summer months, these tracks are further threatened by rock slides and sudden floods that wash entire sections of road away without warning. Bridges, where they exist, are often narrow wooden or rope and plank structures that creak and sway under the weight of even a small vehicle. And yet, every day, local drivers navigate these routes with breathtaking confidence. Long before the world knew the name Siachen, long before military boots ever pressed into the ice of the Karakoram, Saltoro Valley was already ancient.
Saltoro Village is 2,000 to 5,000 years old. Before us, the elders of this valley lived here, and they followed Buddhism. Now we follow Islam. I am happy to live here.
Its history stretches back thousands of years, woven into the broader tapestry of Baltistan, a land that was once a thriving kingdom, a crossroads of trade, and a meeting point of civilizations. Baltistan, often called Little Tibet, flourished as an independent kingdom for centuries, with its people developing a unique culture shaped by Buddhism, Islam, and the harsh but magnificent mountain environment around them. The valleys of this region, including Saltoro, served as corridors for traders, shepherds, and wanderers who moved between Central Asia, China, and the Indian subcontinent. These mountains were not walls. They were roads for those bold enough to walk them. In the modern era, however, Saltoro Valley stepped onto the world stage in a very different way. The late 20th century turned this peaceful valley into a geopolitical flashpoint. In 1984, India launched Operation Meghdoot, swiftly capturing most of the contested Siachen Glacier area and securing the high mountain passes of the Saltoro Range. This bold military move changed the landscape of the region forever, quite literally. Pakistan responded. In April 1986, Pakistani forces launched a counter-assault, gaining control of a strategic high point just south of Bilafond La Pass. They established a military post there and proudly named it Quaid Post. But the victory was short-lived. Between June 23rd and 26th of 1987, India launched Operation Rajiv, recapturing the post in one of the most daring high-altitude military operations in history. The post was renamed Bana Top in honor of Naib Subedar Bana Singh, who was awarded India's highest military honor, the Param Veer Chakra, for his extraordinary bravery. Since then, the Saltoro Range has remained a frozen frontier, silent on the surface, but carrying the weight of history in every inch of its ice. To reach Saltoro Valley, your journey begins in Skardu, the gateway city of Baltistan and one of the most dramatically situated towns on Earth, perched at an elevation of roughly 2,438 meters and cradled by the Indus River on one side and towering brown mountains on the other. From Skardu, you travel deeper into the Karakoram, leaving behind the dusty bazaars and apricot orchards, and entering a world that grows wilder and more magnificent with every kilometer. Saltoro Valley itself is recognized as the highest valley in all of Pakistan, a distinction that speaks volumes about just how extreme and extraordinary this place truly is. It is carved by the Saltoro River, which originates from the glaciers of the Saltoro mountain range and flows with a cold, powerful energy through the valley floor. In Saltoro Valley, survival is not a skill. It is a way of life passed down from generation to generation, written not in books, but in the calloused hands and weathered faces of the people who call this place home. At altitudes where oxygen levels and temperatures can drop to deadly lows, the people of Baltistan have mastered the ancient art of simply staying alive and doing it with a quiet dignity that humbles every outsider who witnesses it. Every single day in Saltoro is a negotiation with nature. The mountains do not forgive mistakes. Avalanches can bury entire pathways overnight. Flash floods can swallow roads in minutes. A single wrong step on an icy trail can mean the difference between life and death. And yet the people here do not live in fear, they live in respect. They read the mountains the way others read books, understanding the language of shifting winds, changing snow colors, and the distant rumble of unsettled ice. Their homes are built thick-walled and low to the ground, designed to trap heat and withstand the crushing weight of heavy snowfall. Their food is simple but calorie-dense: dried meat, salted butter tea, and stored grains that carry entire families through the brutal winter months. In Saltoro, every meal, every shelter, and every fire is a small but significant act of survival. If you think you know cold, Saltoro Valley will change your mind completely. When winter descends upon this high-altitude world, it does not arrive gently. It arrives like a siege. Temperatures plunge well below -20 degrees Celsius, and in the most exposed areas near the Saltoro Range, they can drop even further, reaching levels that freeze rivers solid, shatter rock faces, and make the very act of breathing feel like swallowing broken glass. The snowfall here is not the soft, romantic kind. It is heavy, relentless, and unforgiving. Entire villages can become cut off from the outside world for months at a time, buried under walls of snow that no vehicle can penetrate and no ordinary person can walk through. The roads that connect these communities to Skardu, already narrow and treacherous in summer, simply cease to exist in winter. They vanish beneath white silence. The winds that tear through the Saltoro Range carry a ferocity that is hard to describe. They howl down from the glaciers like something alive and angry, stripping warmth from every surface they touch. Frostbite is a constant threat. Hypothermia is a real and ever-present danger. And yet every morning, without complaint, without drama, the people of Saltoro wake up, wrap themselves in thick wool, step outside into that biting cold, and begin another day. Because in this valley, winter is not an emergency, it is simply the season. When the snow finally loosens its grip and the short mountain summer arrives, life in Saltoro Valley moves outdoors in the most elemental way imaginable. The men and boys of the community guide their flocks, sheep, goats, and cattle up along steep, narrow mountain trails to the high-altitude pastures, known locally as margs, where fresh green grass grows in the brief but precious warm months. These are not leisurely walks in the countryside. These are grueling climbs at oxygen-depleted elevations, carrying supplies on their backs, watching every footfall on paths that drop into sheer cliffs on one side. The women, meanwhile, carry the weight of the household with extraordinary strength and grace. Early each morning, Long before the sun has warmed the frozen air, they are already at work, milking cows by hand in the biting cold, their fingers moving with practiced speed, their breath rising in white clouds against the dark mountain sky. The milk is then carefully processed, some churned into butter, some transformed into a thick, salty cheese that stores well through the long winter months ahead. Nothing is wasted. Every drop of milk, every kilogram of wool shorn from a sheep's back, every small harvest of grain from the terraced fields below, all of it is counted, stored, and stretched as far as it can possibly go. This is not poverty. This is precision. This is a person who has learned to live in perfect balance with one of the harshest environments on Earth. The valley sits in close proximity to the Siachen Glacier, the world's second longest non-polar glacier and the highest battleground on Earth. The Saltoro mountain range, which forms the valley's dramatic eastern wall, includes the towering Saltoro Kangri Peak. The actual ground position line runs through these very mountains, making this one of the few places on Earth where breathtaking natural geography and tense geopolitical boundaries exist side by side. The culture of Saltoro Valley and the surrounding Baltistan region is one of the most beautifully layered in all of Pakistan. A rich blend of Tibetan, Persian, Central Asian, and Islamic influences that has been quietly evolving for centuries, far from the noise of the modern world. It is a culture born from isolation, shaped by mountains, and held together by an extraordinarily strong sense of community. Music is the heartbeat of Balti culture. The sounds of the daman drum and the surna, a traditional wind instrument, fill the air during celebrations, weddings, and festivals, carrying melodies that seem as ancient as the peaks themselves. Dance is communal and joyful. Performed in open village squares under open skies, with young and old joining together in movements that tell stories of harvests, victories, and love. Hospitality is perhaps the most defining cultural value in this region. A stranger arriving at a Balti home is never turned away. They are welcomed with warm butter tea, offered food, and given shelter without question. In a valley this remote, this tradition of looking after one another is not just cultural custom, it is what keeps the community alive. Oral storytelling also plays a deep and important role. Elders pass down legends of great hunters, brave soldiers, and mountain spirits through stories told by firelight on long winter nights, keeping the memory of this valley breathing from one generation to the next. The people of Saltoro Valley are predominantly Muslim, following the Shia and Nur Bakshi traditions that took deep root in Baltistan centuries ago, gradually replacing the ancient Buddhist practices that once defined this land. Faith here is not just a personal matter. It is woven into the fabric of daily life. The call to prayer echoes across mountain villages at dawn.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah.
The traditional Balti costume is as practical as it is elegant. Men wear the Gilgiti cap, a round woolen hat, paired with loose shalwar kameez and a thick woolen chadar. Women dress in richly colored robes with embroidered head covers. Every stitch reflects the valley's heritage, warm, dignified, and mountain-born. Saltoro Valley does not reveal itself easily. It demands something from you: patience, courage, and a willingness to leave your comfort zone far behind in the plains below. But those who make that sacrifice, those who endure the bone-shaking roads, the biting winds, and the breathless altitudes, they are rewarded with something that no five-star resort, no curated travel experience, and no photograph can ever truly capture. They are rewarded with realness. In a world that is growing louder, faster, and more artificial by the day, Saltoro Valley stands as a rare and precious reminder of what this earth looked like before we started remaking it in our own image. Here, the mountains are still in charge. Here, the glaciers still dictate the terms. Here, human beings still live by the rhythms of nature rather than the rhythms of a screen. But perhaps what leaves the deepest mark on every visitor is not the geography, not the history, and not even the dramatic landscape. It is the people. A community that has faced centuries of hardship, brutal winters, geographic isolation, political uncertainty, and yet has never lost its warmth. Saltoro Valley does not just show you Pakistan's beauty. It shows you humanity at its most resilient. Every great journey changes you in ways you did not expect. You set out thinking you are going to see a valley, and you come back having seen something far greater. You come back having witnessed a world that refuses to surrender. A world where the human spirit burns brightest precisely because the conditions demand it most. Saltoro Valley is not on most travel maps. It does not trend on social media. It does not have luxury hotels or tourist information centers. And perhaps that is exactly what makes it so extraordinary. It remains one of those rare, untouched corners of the earth. As we close this journey today, we want to leave you with one thought. The world is full of beautiful places, but very few of them are alive in the way Saltoro Valley is alive. Pakistan is a land of wonders, and Saltoro Valley, hidden, fierce, and breathtaking, is one of its greatest. If this journey moved you, share this video with someone who needs to see Pakistan's true beauty. Subscribe for more untold stories from the world's most extraordinary places. Drop a comment below. Would you brave the roads to visit Saltoro Valley? We read every single one. See you in the next adventure.